It's January 20th, 2025, and Donald Trump has just been inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States. Trump's new presidency became different things for different people. Some people became unhinged.
I'm sorry! No! 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 Why? Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
But for over the 1,500 people that rioted at Capitol Hill, they got clemency. The clemency granted to the rioters is what gives this inmate of one of the most dangerous prisons in America hope that he would become a free man. A man who is serving not one, but 2 life sentences. A man who once terrorized and terrified the streets of Harlem and New York as a whole. The same man that a judge once stated that their crimes were astonishing in their breadth, duration, and intensity. I'm talking about the one who was once the most dangerous man in hip-hop history, James Rosen. Now, most of you might be asking, why would President Trump ever release Jimmy Henchman? Well, it's reported that he did it once before. He actually granted Henchman clemency toward the end of his first tenure. It just never materialized. There's a legal affidavit that states that on December 18th, 2021, Trump told NFL legend Jim Brown, "Hey, let's get this guy home for Christmas," referring to Henchman. And this time, he might be able to grant Henchman his freedom. And if Jimmy Henchman becomes free, that just might create a lot of problems for one person, 50 Cent.
How you look at it? Look, I'm from Southside Jamaica, Queens. I don't like Supreme. I don't like Premium. But he lived the way he actually projected himself. His lifestyle is consistent.
He was true to it.
He never ratted on nobody. Just like that. You see what I'm saying? And Jimmy's a different kind of guy. He told everybody. He solved the last 10 years of criminal activity in New York City in 10 minutes. The DA said, hold on, chill out, stop, boy, you're going to make it like that I don't even work. The DA asked him to stop. Stop, man. You're going to make like we're not even working here.
Yo, stop laughing. Me and you ain't built for this. Lawrence Styles, move away from 50 Cent. Slide over. We're not built for this. We're nerds. We work at radio stations.
I just got a radio job.
As Henchman's empire grew, so did his influence in both the streets and the entertainment industry. His connections in music allowed him to move undetected, using his position as a manager and music executive to shield his criminal activities. His clientele included big names in the rap world, but the real money came from his illegal dealings. Henchman ran his operation like a well-oiled machine, using his intelligence and charm to keep law enforcement at bay for years. The feds caught wind of his operation over time, but Henchman's ability to stay one step ahead made him a difficult target. He wasn't just selling drugs, he was orchestrating a nationwide network, with suppliers, distributors, and enforcers all in place. Despite his wealth and power, Henchman's rise eventually came to an end, as his criminal empire crumbled when he was arrested and convicted. Still, his name is remembered as one of the most powerful figures in the underground world of both hip-hop and drug trafficking. The Roseman organization was a well-organized and highly secretive operation. The drugs, primarily cocaine, would come in from Los Angeles and be shipped to New York, cleverly concealed in shipments that appeared innocent at first glance. The white powder was wrapped in plastic, slathered in mustard to mask the scent, and packed inside in release cases typically used to ship musical equipment. This clever ruse allowed the drugs to pass through FedEx and UPS without raising any suspicion. Each shipment was accompanied by an invoice, further making the operation seem legitimate. The mustard served as a key trick to fool the drug-sniffing dogs, keeping the illicit cargo undetected. The Roseman organization wasn't large, only about 10 to 12 members, but it was effective. They were able to move vast quantities of drugs across the country, from the West Coast to the East Coast, all while maintaining a low profile. Henchman's ability to run this operation smoothly for years, with minimal interference, made him one of the most dangerous figures in both the streets and the hip-hop world. His influence stretched far beyond his criminal network, especially because of his deep ties in the music industry. What set Jimmy Henchman apart was not only his power in the drug trade but his refusal to back down from anyone, even the notorious Suge Knight. Henchman's courage in confronting Knight, one of the most feared men in hip-hop, solidified his reputation as someone who could stand his ground and was willing to challenge anyone who crossed him, whether in business or on the streets. His street credibility, coupled with his criminal empire, made him a force to be reckoned with in both worlds.
Wait, we can't gloss over that, man. So Suge Knight and Jimmy Henchman had beef, yo? I ain't hear about that, yo. Go into detail about that.
They were beefing. Cause Suge them fucked up the Vibe Awards. When they fucked up the Vibe Awards and the Crip dude jumped on and swung on Dre, I was there. You know what I mean? We were there. So once the melee and all that kind of shit started off, and Young Buck them got on Buddy and did what they did to Buddy, you know, we pretty much made sure that Nelly and everybody else got up out of there. And at the same time too, that was one of the real nights that kind of rubbed Jimmy wrong with Suge, because he kind of messed up the Vibe Awards that him and Queen Latifah them and Shakim had put together, and they fucked the award show up, so it never came back after that. So, you know, when Suge got shot in Miami, niggas knew who sent it. When you was in Miami, you was in his turf. Haitians, baby, Haitians.
Jimmy Henchman was one of the organizers for the 2004 Vibe Awards. Suge Knight had one of his goons attack Dr. Dre, which caused a huge brawl and ruined the show. Henchman allegedly had Suge Knight shot behind this, and when they spoke on the phone, he threatened him again, telling him the next bullet would be to your head.
Suge got shot in the club because it was in the leg. And Jimmy Henchman. When Jimmy Henchman told, because they had got into it over the phone, nigga, next time I'm going to have to do raise that shot up a little higher and going to be to your head.
Beefing with henchmen can cause serious troubles for anyone. But it seems like with 50 Cent, he met his match. And Tony Yayo stated that they were always gonna have problems with Jimmy Henchman. And the reason being, because Chris Lighty was their manager.
So let me ask you a question. Who was a pillar of hip-hop? Chris Lighty?
What?
Who wanted to be like Chris Lighty? Jimmy Henchman?
Yeah.
What did Jimmy Henchman do?
You said
Move
that.
on the same block as Chris Lighty? Who did Chris Lighty have? LL, Diddy, Free, 50, Buster. He ran the tunnel at 18. Who did Henchman want to be? Chris Lighty. Who was we down with? Chris Lighty. Beef is inherited. Stop playing, nigga. What the fuck is wrong with this
Beef is
nigga?
inherited. Yo, you
So our beef was, nigga, our beef with Henchman came from fucking Chris Lighty, nigga.
Interesting.
So when Henchman's artist, The Game, became a member of G-Unit, it just sped up the eventual beef. Jimmy Henchman believed that his client, The Game, could be bigger than 50 Cent. And of course, there's no wrong in thinking that. And according to several reports, he encouraged The Game to beef with 50, telling him if he win the beef, it would take his career into a whole new level.
G-Unit is here, 50's here, and Game can be anywhere in between that and probably even bigger than that. And you can't suppress that. You can't suppress that with just G-Unit.
I wanted to be on Dre's level, on Eminem's level, and I wanted to be respected as that. I don't think 50 respected me in that aspect. I think he wanted me to be a G-Unit soldier, which I'm.
When 50 Cent kicked The Game out of G-Unit and announced it on the radio, it sent shockwaves through the hip-hop world. Henchman, who had been closely tied to The Game, didn't take kindly to this public diss. Furious, Henchman allegedly orchestrated an ambush. He sent The Game and several gang members to wait for 50 Cent and the rest of G-Unit outside of a radio station, setting the stage for a violent confrontation. As G-Unit members exited the station, they were met with gunfire, leading to a serious shootout. One man was critically injured, but what truly escalated the situation into an all-out war wasn't just the violence at the radio station, it was the assault on Henchman's 14-year-old son. In a shocking and vicious act, Tony Yayo and G-Unit associate Lordy Mac confronted Henchman's son in the streets. Yayo slapped the teenager multiple times, and Lo Mac allegedly threatened the boy with a gun, further inflaming the already tense rivalry. The assault on a child crossed a line, turning a personal feud into a brutal, ongoing conflict between 50 Cent's G-Unit and Henchman, whose ties to the streets and his organization made him a formidable and dangerous adversary. The situation spiraled into a vicious war, with deep personal stakes on both sides.
You made headlines, you were in the news yourself when you were 14, 6 years ago, when one of 50 Cent's associates assaulted you. He ended up going to jail, and then he was killed once he got out. Your dad was actually indicted this summer for his murder along with some other men.
Yes.
Do you feel that your dad had something to do with this?
From my knowledge, no. Because, we took the right action and try to put him behind bars, because that, unfortunately I was in a situation that I believe, I should have been in. I didn't deserve that. Anybody who know me, I'm 14.
You didn't deserve that.
So I'm not the one in the cameras, talking beef, having beef talk, saying, F G-Unit or any stuff like that. I didn't deserve that at all.
Jimmy Henchman wasn't one to take betrayal lightly, and after the brutal assault on his son, he decided to strike back with a cold, calculated vengeance. While Tony Yayo and Lordy Mac were arrested for their roles in the incident, Henchman had a different form of justice in mind. The arrest didn't satisfy him. He wanted to make a statement in the streets. Soon after, Tony Yayo's mother's house was shot up, with Yayo's sister inside. It was a clear message. But it didn't stop there. Lo Mac, who was involved in the assault on Henchman's son, was killed in the Bronx just 2 weeks after his release from prison. The hit was reportedly ordered by Henchman and paid for with $330,000 worth of cocaine, a chilling reminder of the ruthless nature of his operations. Henchman's wrath wasn't solely focused on Lo Mac. He wanted to send a message to 50 Cent as well, targeting him directly in a feud that had spiraled far beyond music. Henchman was playing a deadly game, leveraging his criminal empire to exact revenge on those he felt had wronged him, and he wasn't afraid to use the streets as his battlefield. The tension between Henchman and 50 Cent would continue to fester, with devastating consequences on both sides. The feud between 50 Cent and Jimmy Henchman reached a dangerously high level during this period, with Henchman allegedly putting a hit out on 50 Cent. Several attempts were made on his life, signaling just how serious things had gotten. One of the first attempts involved a bulletproof limousine that 50 Cent and Tony Yayo were riding in. Henchman allegedly orchestrated an explosion meant to take them both out. Fortunately, they survived. Not backing down, Henchman and his crew tried again. This time, they sprayed Yayo's Bentley with bullets, hoping to finish what they started. But Henchman wasn't done. His next move was arguably one of the most chilling. While 50 Cent and G-Unit were shooting the music video for I'll Still Kill, Henchman decided to pay them a visit. He arrived at the set with his men, all armed with silencers attached to their guns, ready to carry out another deadly strike. However, things didn't go as planned. According to Yayo, just before Henchman's crew could make their move, one of their guns accidentally went off. The sound of the gunshot forced Henchman and his men to flee the scene, abandoning their mission. Yayo, with his belief that God was watching over them, saw this as a sign of divine intervention, and it was one of the few times the crew walked away unharmed. This close call only added to the myth and intensity surrounding the war between 50 Cent and Henchman. The violence and animosity between them seemed to know no boundaries, making it one of the most dangerous chapters in hip-hop history.
It was street shit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know what? If I slap your kid, you gonna go all out too. It's the streets. Rules got violated, and it is what it is. But once you shoot my mom's house up, I wish I would have.
Right, because your mom's house got shot up afterwards. Was your mom and your sister in the house?
Nah, my mom's wasn't there. My sister was there.
Your sister
But
was
listen, at the end of the day, when the kid got slapped, right? It's all fair and war. You already know what's gonna go.
Yeah.
For anybody who got kids, I understand how the nigga felt.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, my shit got shot up. You know what's pussy to me? Don't try to sue me and kill me.
Because you got sued afterwards.
Don't try to sue me and kill me.
Yeah. Pick one.
Pick one. We from the streets. It is what it is. I'm riding around in bulletproof trucks, nigga.
Yeah.
Supplied by 50. You think I'm scared of a nigga? I'm moving right. I'm not dumb. I'm move militant.
After years of running his empire and engaging in a deadly feud with 50 Cent, Jimmy Henchman's criminal activities finally caught up with him. He was arrested and later convicted on multiple charges, including drug trafficking and his involvement in the murder of a man linked to the 2009 shooting of rapper 50 Cent's associate. The conviction resulted in Henchman receiving 2 life sentences in federal prison, marking the end of his reign. As expected, 50 Cent didn't hold back once Henchman was locked up. In typical 50 fashion, he posted a video on his social media, calling Henchman a rat. This was a pointed jab at Henchman's alleged cooperation with authorities during his trial. It wasn't just a personal victory for 50 Cent, it was a way for him to take the final shot in a bitter and violent rivalry that had spanned years. Henchman's downfall, combined with 50's public taunts, symbolized the end of an era of animosity between the two.
On the paperwork, Henchman and them were supposed to come through, and I guess they gun jammed, but we had God on that side, and they backed out on the hit, but we had straps too, and that really was it.
You said they had silencers?
Yeah.
And this was part of the actual report that came out?
Yeah. Nobody seen him. They so-called was following a car. I don't know which car, because there was like 3-4 different cars.
Mm-hmm.
In every car, nobody was really traveling light. So if you would have shot, I'm quite sure somebody would have shot back, but you got a silencer, so that would probably give you the up. But I guess they didn't know how to handle a weapon or something like that. It's in the paperwork. And the gun went off in the car. So as the gun went off in the car, I guess it jammed and they backed out of what they wanted to do. So, God is good. I guess God was on our side at that time. Or they didn't know how to handle what they had. Some people don't know how to handle the strap.
That was how close 50 Cent and G-Unit came to losing their lives that day. And after this, 50 had to do something. Word on the street is, 50 responded by hiring Atlanta gang members who put a dead rat on Jimmy Henchman's doorstep. And if you don't know what this means, this was 50 insinuating that Henchman was a snitch to the feds. And if he didn't stop, he was going to expose him or he could end up dead. A snitch is the worst thing you could call a man in the street. And this was the first time 50 Cent ever called Henchman a snitch, but it won't be his last. During this period, the feds were already onto Jimmy Henchman. And eventually, he was arrested for murder for hire, money laundering, cocaine trafficking, and witness tampering. According to Tony Yayo, after Jimmy Henchman was arrested, everyone in the Rosamond organization snitched on him.
Nah, every shooter that Henchman had told on him. Like his driver, when he shot up the crib, he told on him. Teflon, all his people.
Your house.
Yeah, all his people told on him. Everybody that he had to do dirt with him told on him. So people glorify the street shit and make the street shit like, nah, the best thing is to make your money and get out the streets. Fly the world, live your life. Take care of your kids, take care of your girl, whatever you have going on. Take care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, all his shooters told on him. So you might have niggas around that shooters, those be the same shooters that tell on you. You better off probably doing the shit by yourself.
When 50 Cent got his hands on that video, there was no doubt he was going to make the most of it. 50 Cent is notorious for using any opportunity to capitalize on his rivals' downfalls, and Henchman's alleged betrayal was a prime target for him. Knowing the video had the potential to further tarnish Henchman's reputation, 50 wasted no time. He didn't just post it. He turned it into part of his ongoing campaign to paint Henchman as a rat, making sure the world saw it. 50 Cent, always the master of publicity, knew the video would stir up drama and feed the narrative of betrayal and revenge that had fueled their feud. It was the final blow in a long and vicious battle. Henchman, now behind bars, couldn't defend himself or respond to 50's attacks, and 50 made sure the world knew about it. The video became another moment of 50 Cent asserting his dominance in the hip-hop world, turning personal conflicts into public spectacles for his own gain.
New footage of your man Jimmy Henchman. There you go. This live footage from when he was on the street. Jimmy the Rat. There go Jimmy the Rat. Every time you think you get ready to stop, you do something again. There go Jimmy the Rat. Oh shit, here come Jimmy the Rat. Oh shit. You ever seen a rat attack a nigga?
Henchman spends his days in USP Pollard, and he even posted a video of himself from the cell.
Man, I want to apologize. I want to apologize to the Massive for letting these sucker ass niggas catch me out there like that. I talk about suckers, I'm talking about those who perpetrated to be either my friend, who were wearing wiretaps, who got on the stand and lied. Man, I want to apologize to those that I let down for letting some suckers play me. And I just want you to know, man, that I didn't know. I just didn't know that these dudes was that jealous. That jealousy would allow them or make them do the things that they did. And it's almost like a sucker killed me, man. It's like I let a sucker come down on me, man, and beat me up and kill me, man. And this is the same feeling. It's almost like it's parallel together. And so I want to apologize to all those who have lost their life, dedicated their life to the game. I want to apologize to you for what I allowed to happen to me. I am very sorry. Trust you me.
And when 50 Cent got his hands on this video, oh, you just knew he was going to do something with it.
Brian McLeod to kill Llewellyn Fletcher. You know, one of the things that I did ask Brian McLeod to do was I asked him to bring Fletcher or Yayo to me. So took it upon himself and he killed Llewellyn Fletcher. So here's the most important thing out of this whole thing. I'm not the murderer here. The murderer in this whole situation is home. All he had to do was point the finger at me, and he went home. And I'm in jail for life when I never hired him to kill anyone. So, you know.
Oh, gee, Jimmy the Rat.
I'm glad that it was overturned. I'm happy. It's hopefully that, you know, I won't have to go back to trial, but
Jimmy Henchman has some powerful friends, such as actor Michael K. Williams, who, before his passing, was working on 2 projects about Henchman's case. He says the actor was working on a podcast and a docuseries to prove his innocence. The late NFL legend Jim Brown and his wife Monique were the ones to speak to Trump on the phone to get him to allegedly free Jimmy Henchman. All these celebrities have repeatedly argued that Jimmy Henchman was unjustly convicted. Now, I'm not here to tell you if it's true or not. I'm just here to give you the facts. Trump reportedly granted Henchman clemency, but failed to finalize the process. But now that he's won another 4 years in the Oval Office and got that power back, who's to say that he won't finish what he started? We'll just have to wait and see.